20 years. 20 long, hard years has Odysseus, son of Laertes and the gods of old, been away from Ithaca, his home. For 20 years he has been returning from Troy. His family has thought him dead, but still they grieve. For 20 years the young men of Ithaca have courted Penelope, his wife, and now their efforts have made a climax. Penelope must make a decision.
So, Zeus, it's pretty good, huh?
He's a great guy.
Yeah. This guy has lightning,
Yeah.
but bowling. Really? Is he any good?
My lords, hear me. Suitors and me, you commandeered this house to feast and drink. Day and night, my husband long gone, long out of mind. You found no justification for yourselves. None. Except for your lust to marry me. Stand up then. We now declare a contest for that prize. Here's my lord Odysseus' hunting bow. Bend it and string it if you can. If you dare. Who sends an arrow through iron axe sockets, 12 in a line? I join my life with his and leave this place, my home, my rich and beautiful bridal house, forever to be remembered, though I dream it only. Carry the bow forward, carry the blades.
I remember Odysseus' bow.
You two, why snivel? To upset my woman even more? Does she not have pain enough? Sit down, or get on and go cry in a corner. Leave the bow, for it looks a clean-cut game. It will be no easy task. There was no man like Odysseus.
He hoped to win, though he was destined to be the first to save her blood from heroic Odysseus' arrow. He knew not that there would be, repercussions for his treatment of Penelope. He would not be missed.
Like that lot could string my lord's bow. Them, mere boys next to Odysseus, master mariner and victor of Troy, and conqueror of cities. They know not his virtue. Oh, to see him once more. His deeds are far too enormous to describe. If only his steadfast arms could send these pains of mine away. I have grown old. I am tired. I have kept this house for 20 years. I deserve to rest for liberty. I sigh because my loneliness some part grieves.
In time to come, we'll learn that they had just walked past an old beggar. Little did they know that old beggar is Odysseus, coming to redeem his honor.
You, person, you two swiner. I could say a thing to you, or should I keep it in the dark? No, my heart tells me to speak. Would you stand by Odysseus if he came back? If he dropped from the sky as I did, or the gods brought him? Would you be men enough to stand by Odysseus? Would you fight for him, or for the suitors?
Ah, let the master come. King of gods and god of kings.
I am at home, for I am he. I bore adversities, but in the 20th year I have returned home to Ithaca, and I find that you alone, have waited for my coming. So I tell you now, if Father Zeus by my hand brings down the suitors, you will have good life if you fight with me. A life as good as that of my sons Telemachus. With
Action!
Here's a sign that I am he, the scar I received on Mount Parnassus while hunting with Autocles' sons and I. Break off, no more of this. Anyone could see and hear. Drift back in stealthily. Don't let them see you.
Action!
Now Eurymachus, how can you expect to tame this house and my hand if you can't but tame a bow? Oh well, too bad I suppose.
What gloom I feel, not for myself alone, and not only because we lose that bride. Women are not lacking in Achaea, or Ithaca, and or other town. No, the worst humiliation is to be shown up for children measured against Odysseus, we who could not even hitch the string over his bow. What shame to be repeated of us, after us.
Tenderness for the queen. Permit me to speak. A passion in me moves me to speak out. I put it all to my lords Antinous and Eurymachus. But let me try my hand at this smooth bow. Let me test my pull, my strength, and see if any of that old-time kick is still left in me.
Go.
You fleering vagabond, are you not called here enough at the table, taking meat with gentlemen? Your betters deny nothing and listening to our talk. The sweet gold of wine has made you brave.
Quiet, you dog. The watchful queen speaks.
Antinous, discourtesy to a guest of Telemachus, whatever guest, that is not handsome. What are you afraid of? Suppose this exile put his back into it and drew the great bow of Odysseus. Could he then take me home as his bride? You know he dares not imagine that. No one need let that prospect weigh upon his dinner. How very, very improbable it seems. I retire.
The old man could string the bow. It would certainly be an unexpected outcome. Still, there was something in that man's voice that reminded me of the younger Odysseus, when he was so adventurous. I know this man barely a minute, and still I trust him more than I would Eurymachus or Antinous, whom I've known for 20 years. If only my Odysseus could somehow take me back to the Ithaca I once knew. For it is no more. This is not it. Let's look on.
He strung the bow tenderly, like a musician, like a harper, when with quiet hand upon his instrument he draws between his thumb and forefinger a sweet new string upon a peg. So effortlessly that Odysseus in one motion strung the bow, then slid his right hand down the cord and plucked it, so that the taut gut vibrating hummed and sung a swallow's note. Now, to spare some details, Odysseus reveals himself and wins Penelope's contest. He then proceeds to kill Antinous. Now, Telemachus and Odysseus face over 100 suitors. Well, 99.